Hey guys, so I wanted to come on and I wanted to talk to you guys about this transit that's going on currently right now up until March 8th. It ends, yes, March 8th, from February 16th to March 8th. So it did already start. And this particular transit that I want to talk to you guys about is the Mars in, you can't even see it, the Mars in Capricorn transit in the 10th house. The Mars in Capricorn transit, okay? So this transit, like I said, has already started. This transit started on the 16th. It started pre-Mercury Retrograde. But I do think that this particular transit affects our retrograde a little bit more intensely. It's got a lot of us shook, I feel like, right now because, you know, Mars in itself, if you don't know anything about the planet Mars, Mars is an action planet. It is an aggressive planet. It is a planet of desire. It's a planet of our will, our action. And it's a self-defense planet. It's the planet where they say conflict. So it's like, this is the planet where we don't take no shit. We have defense mechanisms, you know. It also rules anger, so it's a very aggressive planet. It's how we control and how we dispense, you know, where we put our efforts in, where we put our energy. Okay, so now Mars is exalted in the sign of Capricorn. And when we say exalted, we basically just mean that, you know, this is a sign where Mars, you know, it's going to work at its best. It's going to come, the energy is going to come across Mars as its best. It functions its best in the sign of Capricorn. Okay, and Capricorn is that practical planet. It's what was I reading? It says look at the manager. It is a planet that surveys everything. It weighs the pros and cons. It's a planet that, you know, pays attention. It focuses its direction on what's the best method of action. So it is very realistic. It is very practical. And with Mars being in Capricorn, it's kind of like our action, we're pursuing success in the most practical and realistic way. And this is basically, this transit is a time where we're really focusing on particular tasks. We're pushing ourselves to, you know, reach our goals. We're pushing ourselves to make the best decisions for our legacy, for what we will be known for, because Capricorn is very interested in the name it creates for itself, what it leaves behind, the foundation it makes. And I really feel like these are people that want to create generational type of wealth. These are people that want to put their family name on the books. So this is all the things that we're achieving through hard work. And I feel like it's interesting that this is happening to our Mercury retrograde. Okay, heads up too, this transit will really help earth signs apply themselves, like the earth signs. So my sign Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn are going to have great times in this transit. But when it comes to not fixed signs, when it comes to cardinal signs, so Aries, Libra, and Cancer, you might have a little bit of a rougher time doing this, okay? And for you to understand how Mars affects you, you can look on your birth chart and you can see, you know, Mars is going to show you where you're passionate about. Mars is going to show you those types of things that make your blood boil, whether it's your blood's boiling with desire or it's boiling with anger, you know. This is what really gets you going. Mars is that planet. It's like, it's what gets you going. It's what fills your heart with, you know, this longing for more. So with this transit, okay, I think it's very interesting that this transit is happening to our Mercury retrograde. Why? Because Mercury retrograde is the time of second chances. If you watched my video before on the retrograde, you know that this is a time not to like not to be in movement. It's kind of a time, well, you could be in movement, because the Mars in Capricorn transit is actually going to help you go back. You're going to be reviewing what you've been doing up until, and it's going to help you go back and either start a new project, which is not recommended during Mercury retrograde, or it's going to help you finish a new project, which is something with Mercury and Pisces. If you're creative, if you're artsy, it's going to help you go back and you're going to find the passion, I feel like, the drive that you had for particular projects that you may have given up on. I think that Mars and Capricorn happening, so this is practical, this is passion, this is success, this is legacy, this is, you know, getting shit done, crossing off the list while we're going through Mercury retrograde in Pisces, where we are reviewing, because Mercury retrograde is reviewing what you've done up until this point and seeing how maybe you could have communicated better. You could have, you know, worked, you know, in a different angle with things. So you're really reviewing, reassessing. It's inner reflection. And at that time, while we're inner reflecting, we're not taking on anything new. We maybe are going through our social media detox. We are kind of really just staying out of, avoiding conflict, which Mars in Capricorn, if you do get in a conflict with Mars being in Capricorn right now, this is a time where you might come across, your words might come across as harsh, as, you know, rude. This is like one of the times where it's easiest to get into a fight, I would say, because Mars in Capricorn, there's no fucks given, and there's also this air of, you know, I can't deal with stupidity. I can't deal with stupidity right now. I feel like if someone approaches you with something petty, something dumb, something stupid, you're gonna hit 100. Don't mind the car coming in. You're gonna hit 100 very quickly. So Mars in Capricorn with Mercury and Pisces, because we're emotional, because we're sensitive, because we're touchy, I really feel like this is the best time to not, please do not get in arguments, because this could escalate very quickly. Unless you're like level-headed, which I do think Capricorn's not going to get into an argument unless it's pushed. But we have Mercury and Pisces, and we're about to enter Pisces season tomorrow. So we have entering Pisces season, Mercury retrograde, and this Mars and Capricorn transit. So we might be feeling a little bit like, what the fuck is going on? Okay. So Mars, you know, this planet, it's an amazing planet. I think this is a great thing that we're going through this right now. Okay, because it's helping us get back to our roots of survival. Mars represents that survival. So I think that for our survival, for what's best of us, we really need to be reviewing right now what's realistic, Mercury and Pisces, what's realistic, what's fantasy, what dreams we can accomplish, and what dreams we need to just cross off. You know, just cross off and say, you know, this is a time where we need to be extremely honest with ourselves. Honest. Looking at our lives honestly, okay? Looking at our lives honestly. Gathering the information. I had written all this down, and I love how it all came together. So this is getting all the information, because Mercury is communication. Mercury is technology. It's learning. So you're gathering the information, and you're making the best choices possible that you've thought through, that you have considered, weighed, and you are making, it's like you're making a strategy for how you're going to act once Mercury enters Aquarius, because I thought it was Aries, but Mercury enters Aquarius when it goes direct. So I feel like we're right now, this is the best time to self-reflect, to be honest with yourself about where you're going in your life. What are you leaving behind? What are you contributing? What are you doing? Because Capricorn's worried about all that. What are you contributing? What are you doing that is for the best of the collective? Are you walking in your higher purpose? And if you're not, what do you need to release in order to go into that? Because Mars being in Capricorn, this is honesty at level 1000. We have to be very honest with ourselves. And what better time to get down and deep and dirty? Because Pisces is deep, so we're going deeper right now. what better time to get deep and into your feelings and into your thoughts and really challenge yourself to be honest, if not during a Mercury retrograde? This is when we learn the most about ourselves. This is a second chances. So this is a time where maybe you left a creative project, and during this time of second chances, you're like, oh, well, I found out why I loved it so much. I feel like for me, this is a time, my second chance type thing is like realizing how much I truly fuck with astrology. Like, I fucks with astrology. And I am mainly doing tarot. Well, I do mainly, I feel like, do tarot. But during this transit, I've been learning how much I really fucks with astrology. Okay? But yeah, this is during this transit, another great question to ask yourself is, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? And where is this leading? Best 3 questions you can ask yourself during this transit. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Where is it going? Because if you can't find, like, if you can't see where it's going, then you need to cut it loose. Because Capricorn direction, it's not going to do anything that it doesn't see leading somewhere. So you have to ask yourself, where is this leading me? Where is this going to? Because desire, that desire has to last. It's desire that has to course through. It's your soul desire, I feel like. It's like what your soul wants you to do, but you have to be clear-minded, and you have to be willing to step back from the illusions, step back from the what ifs and coulda, shoulda, wouldas, and do something. So this transit is a very, very big deal. We really don't want to be caught up in any pipe dreams. We don't really want to be caught up in any type of imaginative, oh, if only type of ideas. This is where we need to get very direct. We need to be very blunt. Journal if you have to. Bullet journal. Whatever it is that you need to do to get a sense of direction, to get a clear picture of, you know, some people have a month ahead, some people have a year ahead. Okay, what's 5 years from now? Because the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that happened, that said that was going to affect the next 5 years. That 1 month was going to affect, that 1 second in a month was going to affect the next 5 years. So we really need to be looking ahead and looking at where we're going, being honest with ourselves. Honesty is key during Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde ends March 9th. This transit ends, Mars into Capricorn ends March 8th. So this is a time of heavy thinking, of really asking yourself, why are you here? Why are you here? What do you want to leave behind? Like that Beyonce song, I Was Here. So what are you going to do to let people know that you were here? I hope you like this video.